What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I've made my way down to Mooresville Ford and we're going to take a look at the all-new 2020 Ford Escape. Huge shout out to them for providing this vehicle for me today. I will have all of their information down in the description below. The model that we're looking at today is the SEL. It's finished off in star white metallic and has an MSRP just over $33,000. Under the hood is a 1.5 liter EcoBoost inline 3-cylinder engine. This is only paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and you can also opt for a 2 liter EcoBoost or a 2.5 liter engine. This engine produces 180 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. It is front wheel drive. You can opt for the all-wheel drive system. Weighs around 3,300 pounds. 0 to 60 is just over 8 seconds, and with a fuel capacity of 16.9 gallons, you can expect to see 23 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 106.7 inches. It has an overall length of 180.5 inches. The width is 85.6 and it has a height of 68.6 inches. Starting up front, this has halogen headlights. There's a nice signature lighting that runs the lower section of the headlight housing. It will appear as you make your way to the vehicle, and when you hit unlock, they will also light up as well. In the middle section of the bumper, there are LED fog lights. As we make our way to the center, it has a black mesh grille with chrome surrounding it. Just on the backside are active grille shutters that will open and close at speed to help improve with MPG. In the lower section of the bumper, there's nice cutouts to provide even more cooling, along with a brushed aluminum trim piece on the front section of it. As we make our way back up to the top, you can see the Ford logo, and then moving our way to the hood, there are very clean lines running throughout it. Moving to the side, this has a set of 18-inch wheels. They have a 5 double-spoke design to them, along with a 2-tone finish. Disc brakes are in all 4 corners as well. This has a stopping distance from 60 to 0 and 128 feet. Making our way up to the mirrors, the top half is finished off in white. They also feature the blind spot monitor indicator integrated into them. The lower section of the fender flares as well as the side skirts are finished off in black. There's very nice contours that run throughout the door just above that. As we make our way up to the top of the windows, there's a nice chrome trim piece running the entire length. And then up on top, this features a full panoramic sunroof. And finishing off in the rear with the body-colored spoiler and integrated third brake light, there's a gloss black trim piece on each side of the window, along with the wiper blade in the lower section of it to help improve with visibility. This has LED taillights, a backup camera with 4 parking sensors. It features a power liftgate. It has dual exhaust with a nice trim piece running between the two. There's great contoured lines running throughout the middle section of the liftgate, and this has a towing capacity up to 2,000 pounds. So that is going to finish up with the exterior walk around on the all-new 2020 Ford Escape. I really like all of the different changes on the exterior that I've seen. One of the main changes is the grille. It's much larger. It has a lot more presence than the previous body style. There's some more contoured lines on the side, and then the liftgate has a lot more different shapes to it as well. So overall, I think it has a really nice look. Let's go ahead and check out the inside now. On the key fob here, we can have it locked, and as long as we double tap this, it has remote start, very quick and easy to do, as you just heard. If we double tap on it again, it will shut it off, and with the key in my pocket, all I have to do is place my hand on the door handle. You will hear it automatically unlock. Starting off with the door panel, it has a nice pattern running along the top side of the armrest here. There's a brushed aluminum trim piece along with an aluminum release handle. You have the lock and unlock along with 3 different memory seat adjustments. The side mirror controls are just in the front side, and all 4 windows are automatic up and down. This has a 6-speaker audio sound system with plenty of storage space in the lower side of the door. You can see the 2 cup holder cutouts along with a little bit of storage in the front side. As we make our way inside to the black seats, they have silver stitching running throughout them. Very nice pattern running down the middle. They are heated as well, and they feature a 10-way power adjustability with 4-way power lumbar support. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. It has black stitching running along the inside as well. On the right side, we have all of the Bluetooth controls, along with a menu, back, and arrow button with an OK right in the center. Those will control the digital screen, which I'll get to here soon. On the left side, you have your volume for the radio, along with your cruise control and adaptive cruise control settings. With the vehicle on now, you'll see on the left side is the tach. You have your miles per hour on the right side. Down in the center is your gear selection, along with the engine temperature and fuel gauge. And then just above that, we have the 4.2-inch digital screen. You have your audio, your phone, We can go into information just by clicking on menu. You can look at your seat belts, your auto start stop feature, and configure a lot of other information like that. We can scroll down to your trip A and trip B. We can go back and scroll down again to my view. That'll look at your speedometer. You can look at your fuel economy, your trip, and audio. You can also go to the calm screen, so that will basically hide everything if you just want to see this view, and scroll down to driver assistance, so when you have the adaptive cruise on. Moving to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all the controls for the headlights and fog lights. You have a power button for the liftgate, along with a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's one air vent. Moving up to the dash, you can see one speaker in the corner there, and then right in the center we have the 8-inch touchscreen navigation screen. So with this screen on the home setting right now, just by clicking this house button on the top left, you'll see the navigation on the left side, you have your audio on the top right, and then your phone would be on the bottom right. Starting on the left side, I'll just click on audio so you can see all of your different stations and everything there. You have the phone right next to that, so when that is configured, you can go through everything there. Navigation is right in the center. There's an apps button to the right of that, where you can add another phone, look for other mobile apps and things like that. And then settings is to the far right, so you can configure your sound, your clock, and Bluetooth. We can go into vehicle. You can set how long you want it to idle for, your easy entry and exit. You can adjust the seat. You have your power liftgate, which you can turn on and off, which is nice to see, along with your locks, lighting, and things like that. You have your Wi-Fi, your display, your voice command. There's a valet mode that you can go into. Just below that screen, we have the power and volume button on the left side, along with tuning on the right. There's some other seek buttons in the middle. You can also push on this far right button and display the time and date. You can shut this screen completely off or bring it back up to where we just were, so it's nice that it has that function. There's two air vents in the center, along with the hazard button. And then down below that, we have all of the AC controls. Fan speed is on the left side, so you can see that indicator as to where the fan speed is. You have your temperature on the far right, along with shutting everything completely off. Just pushing on any of these buttons will turn it back on. You have where you'd like the air to go right in the center here, along with an auto feature. These are heated seats, so you have 3 different settings for driver and passenger, along with the heated steering wheel right in the center. As we make our way underneath, you have a USB port in the back, along with a 12-volt. Good amount of storage space for anything like a phone or something like that. And then as we make our way into the center, you'll see 2 cup holders on the right side, along with a little bit of storage in between them. And then looking at the gear selector, with my foot on the brake now, I'll just slide it over to reverse. You'll see the backup camera light up with the guidelines, and they do move with the steering wheel as well. You can see the line running down the center to know exactly where the middle of the vehicle is. We can rotate over to neutral all the way into drive. There is a low range gear right in the center, and then we just twist it all the way back to the left for park. Behind that is the electronic parking brake, along with the brake hold assist. This button on the right side is the cylinder deactivation, so you can turn that on and off. And then pushing this button on the left side will toggle between all the different driving modes. So you have normal, eco, sport, slippery, and deep snow and sand. So you'll see traction control will turn off with that setting as well. Taking a look at the center console now, you'll see more of the silver stitching, and as we open it up, there is plenty of room, along with a USB port in the front side of it. You can also see there are cutouts on both sides in the front, so if you have any electronics that are charging, you can easily close this up and have them running through, which is nice to see. Looking at the glove box now, it's very deep. You have a good amount of room for anything that needs to go in there. We'll take another look at the dash here with this silver trim piece running across the entire length. Take another look at the seats. And then as I mentioned earlier, this does have the full panoramic sunroof. You have all those controls up in the front here, so we can easily open up the sunshade. You have a sunglass holder up on the back side here, and then pushing on this other button here will open up the glass. And then right in the front, we have the dome light switches as well. So now it's time to go ahead and hop into the back seats, and the door panels finish off just like up front with a nice pattern running above the armrest. You have a cut through on the grab handle, along with a little bit of storage space on the bottom side. This is a 5-seater, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind the passenger seat, you do have some extra storage space for anything that you need to place there. There's 2 air vents in the center, along with a 12-volt down on the bottom side. And then talking about legroom, I have the front seat set at my height, 5'10", and I have about 6 or 7 inches of room in front of my knees, and then about 2 or 3 inches above my head. What I like about the passenger seats, or the back seats here too, is not only do they recline, but you can adjust them. There's a bar on the front section of the seat, so we can slide these about 6 inches forwards and then 6 inches back here. So you have plenty of room for a smaller vehicle like this. There's definitely a lot of leg room, a lot of headroom, It's very open in the back with the sunshade open as well. As we make our way to the center armrest here, you'll see there are 2 cup holders. Here's the view out of the back glass. You have a little window on that side as well. And then just to show you the differences in sliding the seats forward and backwards, I have the passenger seat all the way up and the driver's side seat here all the way back. So you can see how much versatility you have in moving the seat forwards and backwards. They do have a 60-40 split, as you can see. So just by pulling on this latch here, you'll see the seat fold all the way down. So you have that on the passenger seat as well, and then you can clearly see into the back here. So you have plenty of room for anything that needs to go through. And you have a little bit of storage space behind the seats as well if you have those all the way forward. Now it's time to take a look at the rear storage space, and you saw the button inside earlier. We can double tap the one on the key fob or walk up to the vehicle, of course. And in the back here, there's about 37.5 cubic feet of storage space with the back seats up. It goes to about 60 cubic feet of storage space with them folded down. So either way, there is plenty of room in the back. On the left side, there's a 12 volt. You have a speaker and another hook. On the right side, it kind of cuts out just a little bit, so you have a little bit more room on the side. And then lifting up the floor, you'll see the spare tire along with some extra storage space for anything that you need to place there. So again, definitely plenty of room. You have some tie down hooks in the back side. And then up top, there is one grab handle if you want to close it manually, or you can just push on that button. There's also a 4th way that you can open up the lift gate using it hands-free. Just by kicking your foot up underneath the bumper, it will automatically open up. So if you do have your hands full or something like that, as long as you're carrying the key fob, you can easily open up the lift gate. All right, so getting the 2020 Ford Escape out on the road now and selecting drive there, much different than the previous models. As I mentioned earlier, my mom has a 2017 Ford Escape, so it is a lot different. I kind of like having that rotary dial there to select the gears. That's a really nice upgraded touch. And along with the navigation screen right in the center there, on her car, it's kind of built into the actual dash itself. This one is more of a pedestal style right in the center there. I think it's actually nicer because it is closer within reach. We'll give it a little bit of gas. For a 1.5 liter, I'm up to the speed limit just like that. I was a little surprising. The EcoBoosted engine here definitely gets up to speed. I don't think this is underpowered for being the smaller engine. You can get a 2-liter EcoBoost or a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated engine as well, and there is a hybrid option available. I believe it's on the 2.5 liter. You have clear view from the front half here, very large window in the front, very small A-pillars, which easily gives you visibility on the left side and the right side. And a glance over your left and right shoulder, there's not really any blind spots. The pillars in the back are not that bulky. I can easily see the vehicles behind me there. Moving on to all of the comfort, I've put a couple miles on it so far. It really is a nice ride. Comparing it again to the 2017, which is the only other Escape that I have driven, it feels very similar to that. The seats are in a really good, comfortable position as well. Bolsters are not too aggressive, but they hold you in nicely. It's a smooth ride. There's no changes in the suspension that you can do, but you do have the different modes as I showed earlier. So just sitting at a stoplight here, I might as well just talk about everything on the inside. I really like the layout, how everything is configured. As I mentioned, with the kind of the pedestal screen in the middle is a nice focal point to everything in the center. There's a nice trim piece underneath that, along with piano black. Not too many buttons down below. Those are all focused for the AC, so everything else is in the screen, which I like. I'm in normal mode right now. I'm going to switch over to eco mode just by using that button down in the center. And we're going to do another kind of mild acceleration as I did in normal mode, just to see the difference. So in eco mode now, it still gets up and moves. I don't feel like there's any delay in power. Eco mode is really just going to help you obviously save on MPG. It might limit throttle response just a little bit, but I didn't get on it enough to really notice anything. Let's go ahead and put it over into sport mode, and I just felt the RPMs shift just a little bit higher, so that's going to give you a little bit quicker throttle response. But overall, I think this is a really nice layout. I like the design of the inside. The back seats is something new to me compared to the 2017 with being able to slide those forwards and backwards. It gives you a lot of versatility, plenty of room for a full-size adult like myself to be in the back, whether the seats are all the way back or you need to move them forward just a little bit. It's got some pep in sport mode. You have plenty of room in the back seats, even with them all the way back, and then sliding them forward, folding them down. There is so much interior storage space for a small SUV like this. It's really nice how it's all kind of laid out and configured. Taking it around a turn now, just talking about the handling, going at normal speeds. It feels normal to me. This also has a lot of standard safety features. I went through some of them earlier. It has the adaptive cruise, which I mentioned. There's lane keeping assist, pre-collision and cross-traffic alert, along with emergency braking. All of that comes standard, which is nice. It's a really nice vehicle. I like all the materials on the inside. For just over $30,000 for one of the top of the lines here, the SEL, you're getting a really nice interior. And of course the price will be less than that if you're getting a base model. I think it's around the low $20,000 range. The lane keeping assist is doing its job as I get just to the yellow line there just to see the feedback in the steering wheel, and you can feel it just a little bit. There's a vibration, slight vibration in it, telling you that obviously you're crossing the line. So I like technology like that. There's no beeps or anything, but it's nice to feel that vibration in the steering wheel itself. Last thing I want to touch base on, going along with the comfort of driving this, is how quiet it is on the inside. There's no wind noise, there's no tire noise. It's a very solid vehicle for a daily driver, as this would be someone's daily commuter going from point A to point B. It's a very comfortable ride, as I've already said. One thing that I want to mention that I found using the cylinder deactivation, so turning that on and off, when you do activate it, so just by pushing on that button right there, I currently have it on, Ford says it will improve your MPG by 6% having that on. So it basically cuts one cylinder, so you're down to a 2-cylinder vehicle with front wheel drive, and you are just using that to help obviously with MPG. So if you're just cruising out on the highway or something like that, you don't need the full power of the engine. You can do that, save 6% more on your MPG, or gain 6% I should say. Well, I think that's going to wrap up my walk around review and test drive in the 2020 Ford Escape. Once again, huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this for me today. I will have all their information in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.